Welcome to the Real Facts on Real Estate podcast, presented by Sean Patrick Maloney. In this series, we educate real estate agents on how to find success in the industry and grow their wealth to six-figure commissions and beyond. Now here is your host, Sean Maloney.
Welcome to episode 262, The Fear Factor, How to Overcome It and Excel as a Realtor. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Maloney. Thanks for joining me this week. Guys, I want to talk to you about something that will kill your career faster than anything else literally out there. There's nothing that's going to ruin you more than having unneeded fear. Conquering the fear of rejection, it's essential. For real estate agents, in order to excel, you must be in front of people. I always say the mantra, interactions lead to transactions, but what is it about interactions that make people fearful? The fear of rejection is real, right? Everyone fears what happens if the person doesn't do what I want them to do. Well, let's talk about it here. Let's break it down and let's really focus on how we as realtors can be more successful and less dependent on our own energy to worry about what other people are thinking. First off, I want to tell you, your mom or your dad or whoever it was in your life, maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your husband, whoever that person is that tells you you're important, I'm here to tell you, you're really not that important to other people. What do I mean by it? I'm not being mean, right? I'm not telling you you're not important, but what I'm saying is, to other people, you're not that important until they need you. So as a realtor, a lot of times when people talk with a lead, someone that's reached out in some way, shape, or form, they think, I don't want to call them too often because I don't want to bother them. Is it that, or is it considered to be persistence? You need to flip your mindset. You need to see it as persistence. You need to understand that people will see it as persistence. It's one thing to call them with zero value add and say, hey, it's Sean again, just calling to see where you're at. Haven't heard from you in a bit. Hey, it's Sean, you haven't been answering my calls. Where are you at? Hey, it's Sean, I was wondering if you're looking to buy a house. Versus leaving a voicemail that says, hey, this is Sean reaching out. I wanted to get you over a recent market report for Canton. I know you had expressed interest there. I really wanted to get you some great statistics. That way you can see what's going on in the market. Or, hey, it's Sean again, just checking in. I have a house here I think you might like. Give me a shout back when you get a chance, right in your price range, right in the bedrooms, baths, everything you said. Love to talk to you about it. Look forward to chatting. Talk to you soon. What is the difference between the two? Well, the first ones, I'm just giving them no reason to reach out. The second ones, I'm giving them my energy. I'm showing that I have pertinent information, and if they want to speak with me about it, they can reach out to me. I'm going to continue to do that forever, right? Forever, until they tell me, hey, I'm not interested. If they tell me they're not interested, or they hang up on me all the time, or things like that, I'm going to drop that person off my list because I'm happy not to call people. But to think that I'm so valuable that they'll get annoyed that I've reached out, no. I've had many people tell me after years of reaching out to them, the reason I chose to sell my house through you was because you were so persistent in keeping up with us that we want someone like that selling our home. We know you're not going to drop a lead. For other people that do that whole, it almost comes off as like a crazy ex, right? It's like that person who won't stop calling you. They add no value to your life. You've been trying to get away from them. They don't get it. That's the thing that's in the back of our head that we're saying, but don't be that person. Learn to add value. Learn to have reasons to reach out. Learn what your clients like. Learn what the leads like. Pay attention to the conversations you have and try to add more value. Don't just think the difference between me and anyone else is I can get the keys to any house to show the house and to sell the house. You have to think of yourself as a real estate professional and how can you add value to your clients? Because if you don't think like that, you're not going to add any value, and what's going to end up happening is they're just going to go elsewhere where they can get what they need because these opportunities are right in front of us, right? Now, let's circle all the way back to the beginning and think like, who are we talking about? Like, what is the fear? We talked a little bit about leads, but who are leads? Well, some leads are things like cold leads, right? Like we have the Zillows and different things. But then the more important ones would be your sphere of influence. So this is really where most people have so much fear. Calling their aunt, calling their uncle, calling their cousin, calling their childhood friend, calling their teacher, calling their doctor, calling their hair salon. Why they have so much trouble? Well, because they're a shitty friend. What do I mean by that? Well, they never call their friends, they never reach out, and they don't set things up. And now they're afraid because the only reason they have in their mind is real estate. Well, guys, that's not what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you to be a better person. telling you to get more involved with your own life and your friends' lives and everything like that and be more social. Gotta have the mantra, interactions will lead to transactions. Part of conquering fear is getting out there and not being a recluse. You can't be a recluse and be successful in real estate unless you're some of the lucky bunch that's figured out a way to do the computer and never meet people and transact that way, but I've never met anyone that's successful with that. You gotta get used to the idea that interactions lead to transactions, so overcoming the fear and getting out there like, hey, it's okay to feel bad that you haven't called your friend from high school in years. Do you know the best way to feel better about it? Call them. Hey, maybe you haven't called your uncle ever since that day that you got too drunk or he got too drunk and you said bad things to each other. Call him. Perfect time to make up. I'm not saying call everybody and say, hey, you looking to buy or sell a house, but get back in more people's lives. Have more interactions. When you're talking with them, hey, how's your life going? Oh, mine's going good. I just had a closing on a house the other day. I'm really enjoying real estate. That's all you need to say. It's just that constant reminder. But overall, the fear factor is to put such importance to yourself. The truth is, guys, we all have our own lives. We all have a ton of problems. Every single person on earth has a problem. Why? Because we're human. But guess what? We all know and focus on our own. And we're the meanest to ourselves. The truth is, there's so many people out there looking for your help. They actually want your help. And if you provide great value as a realtor and you actually help people and you become a mentor and a guide and you take them to new places and you show them all different things and you teach them all about homeownership, you're doing an amazing job. So don't have that fear. Have that belief in yourself that's so overwhelming that you feel like, geez, I fear not giving people my services because if I don't, they're going to work with someone else and they're not going to get the amazing job that I'm going to do. Guys, put this to practice right away. I hope it helps. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Go on the web, check out realfactsonrealestate.com for our blog, podcast, Instagram, Facebook group, and everything else that we put out, including our weekly newsletter. Make sure to sign up today. I look forward to talking to you next week. Have a great week.